Hello everyone, welcome back to Monarch Mom DIY. This is Cindy and I just want to start by saying I hope you all are safe and healthy and not freaking out about what's going on. Today I have 3 spring Easter DIYs for you. Let's go! For the first project, I'm using one of these Happy Easter truck signs, some tower blocks, some Easter metal wording, all from Dollar Tree, also a sign, and some gingham check scrapbook paper from Hobby Lobby, along with some paint. Now, this is a sign that someone made out of boards. You can find boards like this at Hobby Lobby that are unfinished, or you can make your own using paint sticks from a hardware store, or even Walmart sometimes carries them, or you could just use the back of a sign already at Dollar Tree. There's lots of different ways you can make this. This is just how I'm making it today. To go around my sign, I am taking 8, 6, and 5 of my tower blocks. I believe it was 27 total. So I'm going to just, with a little bit of hot glue, make 2 that are 8 blocks long, 1 that is 6, and 1 that is 5. Now, you will change this for whatever it takes to go around the frame of whatever size sign you are using. You can see here I'm trying to use the ruler to keep my lines straight. Of course, I did not get them perfectly straight, but that's okay. It gives it that rustic homemade look. So 8, 8, 6, and 5. Once they're dry, I'm just giving them a little rub with sandpaper from Dollar Tree just to get any excess hot glue that I didn't get already. So besides chalk paint, Waverly also makes a couple waxes. There's a clear one, and then this one's called Antique. It just gives it a nice dark stain, like a walnut stain, but you can still see the lines of the wood through it. If you don't have this, you could also take some brown acrylic paint and just water it down a little bit, and you would get essentially the same effect. I am using a foam brush and kind of using the side of it. All right, with my Easter truck sign, I'm taking all the hanging strings off, and also where this Happy Easter is attached to hang below. All I want is the truck. I don't want the eggs or the bunny that are sticking out of the back. So I'm going to use my straight ruler again and my utility knife and just go down this enough times to detach it from the rest of the truck. So once you get that piece off, just use a little sandpaper to rub away any rough edges. Now I'm going to be gluing this down, so I'm actually going to leave the front of the sign how it is because it won't show anyway. I'm going to apply a layer of Mod Podge to the back side of my truck, and I'm going to Mod Podge the black and white gingham scrapbook paper like I did in my last video on the 2 wooden bunnies. You can see here the truck is a little bit longer, so I'm going to cut a piece here off the bottom and line it up so that you can't tell that it wasn't one long piece. I will tell you that I did put a layer of Mod Podge over the top of the scrapbook paper as well, and then I let my Mod Podged truck dry completely overnight. Here, my frame pieces are dried, so now I'm showing how I'm going to attach them. And you can see this one row is just a tiny bit long, so I'm just using a little handsaw here to cut that extra little bit of that last Jenga block off. Then once I do that, just sand the end a little bit, and I'm going to glue these now around the outside of my sign to make a nice wood stained frame. And here's what it looks like, all ready for whatever you're going to put inside. Okay, so the Mod Podge on my truck is all dry. I'm using this little, what is this called? It's a crafting knife, but like your finger goes through it and it's really easy to hold. It's better for your hand. If I can find it again, I will put a link to where I got this on Amazon. I believe it's Fiskars, but on a self-healing mat, this is really easy just to cut around the truck and then just pull away the excess scrapbook paper. Of course, you can keep your larger pieces to use on future projects. I should also say that, of course, if you don't have this scrapbook paper or Mod Podge, you could always just paint your truck and still be able to make this sign, whatever color you would like. And just take another little piece of sandpaper and go in a downward motion just to get any pieces of the scrapbook paper that are sticking out past the truck and get a nice clean edge. Now you could reuse the Happy Easter that was hanging below the truck. I have packages of these metal words: Spring Bunny Welcome, Happy Easter Blessings. So you could make this sign say any combination of those words. I'm choosing to do Happy Spring, just because I'm not really ready for Easter yet. But go ahead then and hot glue your truck in place onto your sign, and then you will also attach your words. So you could put whatever you want in the back of this truck. If you wanted it to say Happy Easter, you could put Easter eggs. You could make a sign like this for Christmas, for fall. I went into my florals that I had in my stash, and this yellow and blue combination really made me happy. So I'm just taking 3 of these roses, and I don't know what kind of flower the blue ones are, but just kind of hot gluing them and arranging them in the back of my truck. So this is how the sign turned out. You could just have it on a shelf. You could attach a string to hang it as well. I hope you guys love it. I love it. For our next project, I'm using one of these Easter tag signs, a Happy Easter with a bunny, and some chalk paint. This is a very simple project, but I just wanted to show you how you don't have to use these items from the Dollar Tree, how they are. So I'm embarrassed by this, that I thought I needed a saw to cut apart the bunny from the Happy Easter words, but I wanted to leave it in just to show you that even YouTubers, don't always have the best ideas to start out with. So here you see I'm struggling to use this little handsaw, and this wood is not very thick, you guys. And then I realized that I could just use scissors because it is so thin. So after struggling here on the bottom, and don't worry, my fingers were far away, I tried a utility knife, and then I thought, oh, I could just cut it with scissors. So just cut it with scissors, you guys. I wanted to just use this like primitive silhouette of the bunny. I will, of course, save the Happy Easter to maybe use another time. Here, I'm just removing as much of the glitter as I can from this cute tag-shaped sign. I will use a scraper. I will sand until I get it. I know there's lots of other methods you all have shared with me. I hesitate to do anything liquid, one, because I don't want to wait for it to dry, and I don't want it to kind of warp it's not real wood, whatever material these signs are made of. So get as much of that glitter off, and then I'm going to remove the jute twine and of course keep it for the end. I decided to use this chalk paint in the color Pool. It's like a robin's egg blue. It's so pretty for spring. I love it. It did take a couple coats to completely cover the design of the sign. Now I'm taking the chalk paint in the color Celery. It's a very pretty sage green. You guys know I love this color. And I'm just giving the bunny here a light coat or two of this pretty, pretty green. I wanted to distress the sign a little bit, so I'm using a dry brush and some of the white chalk paint and just kind of roughly going around the edges. And then I will also do some in the middle just to give it kind of a streaky farmhouse look. This, of course, is an optional step. You can do this or not do this. Completely up to you and your style. Okay, so once that's dry and my bunny's dry, I'm just going to take some hot glue. I think there was a little bit of a bumpy letter showing through, sanded it down, and now we're going to hot glue our bunny to the center of our tag. I really love how simple and kind of a primitive look this is. Last step will be to return the jute twine for the hanger of the tag. And then I decided I wanted to add one more touch to my bunny. I had one of these bows made from like a burlappy ribbon, and I was trying to decide where to put it, and I just decided to glue it right there. So I hope you guys like this tag sign. I think it's so simple and cute. For our last project, I'm using 3 of these plaster candle holders, 2 of these paper mache eggs from Hobby Lobby, and some chalk paint, Mod Podge, and some scrapbook paper. So these are sold at Hobby Lobby, regularly $1.99 each. They're big, they're like 4.5 by 6 inches. And then I wanted to use some spring colored scrapbook paper. This pad is actually from Joann's. And I'm just picking out 4 designs that kind of go together. I ended up using those first 2 on one egg, and then the blue and yellow on another egg. So this is like reminding me of crafts I used to do with my preschoolers when I taught preschool, ripping up the paper and gluing it onto a shape, but we're doing 3-dimensional eggs. So it did take quite a bit of time. I will tell you, this project took longer than the other 2 probably put together, just because of the gluing. So these 2 papers and these 2 papers, I'm going to do 1 egg. I had this Mod Podge. It says it's for paper. I don't know. It worked just fine. It's matte finish. So, and I was glad because my Dollar Trees have not been having the matte Mod Podge. So if you've never done this before, it's a little messy. You just brush some on, rub the paper down, and then put more over the top. until you've covered a large area, and then I'll move over to the other egg, and I just kind of went back and forth while it dried in between until I had completely covered my eggs. So I'm taking 2 of these candle holders and using some E6000 and then hot glue, I'm going to stack 2 of them together and then leave the other one by itself just to give me some difference in height. I like to use the combination of E6000 and hot glue on projects like this because the hot glue will make it stick right away, and then when the E6000 dries, it's like a super strong bond. Here I'm just rubbing away a little bit of glue that seeped out of the place where they came together there. And I will say you could paint these. I kind of liked the green for that egg and the blue for the blue and yellow one, but I just decided to leave them white for now. I may decide to paint them later, and you just set the egg on top. And that's our third project. So let me just show you all 3 of our projects again. Our Happy Spring truck sign, our primitive bunny tag sign, trying to show you some of the distressing there with the white paint, and then our decoupaged Easter eggs on the pillar candle holders. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm really loving just making all these fun spring DIYs for you guys. I have lots more planned, so I hope you will give this video a thumbs up if you like these projects. And if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, I hope you'll go ahead and hit that subscribe button and also the bell so that YouTube will notify you when I upload future videos. Here I'm linking some of my other playlists that you might enjoy watching. Thanks so much, you guys, and I hope to hear from you in the comments. Take care.